Hi, everybody. We hope everyone is doing wonderful this, what is it, Wednesday evening. We're going to get started. A few things just to remind everyone. For questions, we will be answering those at the end. If you wouldn't mind, instead of putting them in the chat, to make sure you put them in the Q&A at the bottom, and we will answer all of those at the end. And of course, if for some reason you need to sign off and want to ask a question, via email, please go ahead and email at info@celiaccruise.com. So I will let Connie take it from here.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We're so excited to announce our first sailing with Oceania Cruises. So we wanted to go ahead tonight and just have a little webinar and go over the cruise and what it offers and everything. We are excited that we have Steve Tubman on the line with us tonight, on the Zoom with us tonight. But I'm Connie with Total Travel, and I also am with Celiac Cruise. So me and Maureen started this whole thing, and here we are tonight. So I'll let Maureen take over, and then Maureen can introduce Steve.
All right. Well, again, hello, everyone. I hope I know many of you out there. I think many of you know the story of Celiac Cruise, but for those of you who are new here, I think I like to always give a little brief why this all came to be. And it's not this business idea that Connie and I came up with because, wow, what a great way to travel. This is a result of specific stories and events that have happened with my family. So Peter, my 11-year-old now, was first of many in our family who were diagnosed with celiac disease. And we identified pretty quickly, one, how challenging most things were, but then also you add to it the piece of travel. And, we found solutions to be able to travel safely. But there was always that planning piece that all of you are probably shaking your heads right now. The planning piece, the what ifs, the how much do I need to pack? What if there's nothing to eat? And then also that ongoing 8 to 10 minute dialogue prior to placing an order for each and every meal. So that became the whole, how can we find a way to give our community the chance to just vacation freely and feel normal again for a certain portion of their years. So that is the where, the why, the passion of Celiac Cruise. I really had no idea how impactful, like how many people this would touch, how it would connect our community. I always like to thank every single one of you who believed in this from the beginning. You've also helped me so much in our journey. So thank you, and thank you for being here. And we are so honored to have Stephen Tubman from Oceania Cruises to give us all of the details about this amazing new ship that we will all be sailing on, hopefully, next October. So Steve, I'll let you take it from here.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to start this new journey, with Connie and Maureen. You guys are essentially pioneers with the Celiac Group and Oceania Cruises. We've never done something like this before, so we're very excited. And this is on our newest ship. It's on the Vista. I just got to do a nice 3-day preview sailing of the Vista. She is gorgeous. Latest and greatest technology. We're very excited to have her. And soon to be her sister ship, the Allura, comes out soon too. Next summer, actually. But the Vista is beautiful. It just started setting sail in October of last year. It's going to be a wonderful trip.
So I kind of already touched on this, but obviously, those two little people there, they don't exactly look like that anymore. But this was this image I had in my head of giving Peter there, that is apple juice, not for anyone to worry, just the freedom of the future of being able to feel included and a part of something, both at home, but then also on vacation. So there is our mission that we like to kind of remind people, you all are the reason. Education's important to us, but also just community.
So we started in 2020. Where have we been? We started in 2020, and then the world closed down. So we had our second cruise in 2022. And since then, you can see we have sailed with over 5,000 guests on Celiac Cruises to date. And we have sailed on many Royal Caribbean, as you can see. We've sailed on many full ship charters on AMA waterways. And so we were looking for another option for our guests to be able to travel the world. I've often told many of our clients that stick with us. We're going to travel the world together. And so we wanted to do that. So we reached out to Oceania and said, it's time. We need to offer our guests another alternative because what we have is amazing, but we would like to see what else we could offer. So I hope you agree that it's a perfect time to add some additional sailings with Royal, additional sailings with AMA, but also add this new one with Oceania.
Yeah, we're extremely excited about everything that you're doing, Connie, and we want to take these guests with open hands and make this just a wonderful experience. You know, we couldn't be more proud of the Vista, and you know, this is kind of a trial run. We want to see how this goes. We want to make sure everyone is safe on board with no cross-contamination at all whatsoever within the one specialty restaurant that we're actually shutting down just for this group. So we're taking our new restaurant actually on the Vista and soon to be Allura called Ember, and we're going to be shutting it down just for you guys. So for breakfast and lunch, we'll have a buffet style within the dining venue, and then we'll have the evening dinners where you'd see the host or hostess and they'll seat you. This is the wonderful itinerary. Did you want to talk a little bit about the itinerary, Connie?
Well, I looked at the whole year and I picked out the very best itinerary. So I'm sorry that I did that because it's just amazing. Not sorry. But this is a 10-night and it starts in Athens. Look at all those ports in Greece. And then we go to Italy and France and then finally end in Monte Carlo, which is Monaco. So 4 countries, 10 nights, 2 sea days. This is just a fantastic itinerary. Somebody asked me one time, what do those little anchors mean besides Santorini and some of the other ports? Santorini, that anchor means you're going to tender. So instead of pulling into the port, you say you tender in. But that just means that this ship can go places that the big ships can't. But wow, what an itinerary. I mean, I'm excited. I wish it was early in October because I'm ready to go right now.
It's true, and you're getting that small ship luxury experience with Oceania Cruises. So Monte Carlo is one of my favorite examples. You know, we actually stay longer in our ports of call than other cruise lines. A lot of other cruise lines will stay typically till maybe 5 or 6. We'll be there until 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening. So the great example in Monte Carlo would be the Casino Royale hotel. And you're really getting to stay there late at night, have that martini, shaken not stirred, the true James Bond experience, if you will. You know, it's just it's something you can actually bring home to your friends and family and talk about.
I remember when I went, we got to go on a tour before the casino opened. So we were able to make pictures and everything because they weren't gambling yet. So that was a true Oceania experience that I got to have. That was really nice. So I think we're going to love it.
Yeah, and you know, with this group, we're getting a lot of exclusive amenities. Prepaid gratuities is a wonderful savings. You know, it depends on the category you're staying in, but this could be a savings of anywhere from $400 to $500 easily. We have shore excursions in the form of a credit. So we've done the math. You're going to get a wonderful shore excursion at each one of these ports of call based on the credit. And you can actually, if you had like a bucket list type excursion, there might be something very expensive. You can use the full shore excursions credit towards that if you'd like, and then book some of the other tours a la carte. A lot of our tours are not very expensive, anywhere from $75 to $100 per person. But, you know, you're going to have the shore excursions credit there to help you out. We have the 1-hour cocktail party with the hot hors d'oeuvres. That's going to be phenomenal. The house beverage package is included, 30 world-class wines, beer and champagne. You can upgrade to the prestige beverage package as well, which would be open bar and including liquor. That's typically at the price of $30 per person per day. We're also in the process of actually getting an order together for gluten-free beer as well. And this is the wonderful Ember that we're actually going to close off just for the group. It's our twist on Americana. So typically in this restaurant, we would have like a wonderful steak, or you can get a delicious burger. But this is going to be where we're closing down the kitchen. There will be zero cross-contamination, and we'll be preparing all the food for you. The site inspection. So
Yes. All right. So this is where you all get to hear me chirp. Safety. That is why we do this. You know, it's cruise ships are amazing. These itineraries are amazing, but your safety is what makes Celiac Cruise. So as many of you know who have sailed with us before, we do not take this lightly. There's a lot of meetings. If you see that bottom picture, not a lot of smiling at times, a lot of intensity, but again, I feel like I'm responsible for every single one of you out there. So I do not take it lightly. As many of you know, we partner with different medical facilities in the community, as well as Celiac Disease Foundation, to just ensure every detail is checked, every ingredient is read, and that happens immediately before the sailing. But in addition to that, what we do is we do a site inspection. And we go through, you know, just with the lead F&B teams, the food and beverage teams, kind of what this is about. I mean, of course, everyone knows, but as I've said before, it's that perfect middle of they know a lot, but they're willing to learn more, which is why that's who we choose to partner with. Those are the cruise lines. So that's exactly, you know, what is happening right now, but this will get into more detail when we do our site inspection. So there will be some education, you know, of understanding, like, we talk about villi, we talk about those things as opposed to just talking about food, because one, it's also an opportunity that is a big part of our mission of educating the hospitality world, educating as many people as we possibly can, culinary, so people start to understand celiac disease more. So when any one of these people travel to a different company, not that anyone would ever want to leave Oceania, but if they were to, then they would know what celiac disease was. So we're going to go through all of our ports of call. We're going to see what's there. We're going to check out the dedicated venues. Yes, we all have, you know, those apps that we love, but as we have learned, sometimes a lot of things close and change. So we go through those ports of call to find safe options. So, you know, we can experience the culture of the culinary experience. We will have alternative options if there are certain ports that just don't have something that, you know, makes people feel safe. But if it's there, we will find it and we will grill every person in there to make sure we know what their protocols are, so we can comfortably say, go ahead, stop here. We're talking about the menus, all those different details that go into it. You know, this flour works better than that flour, things like that, that, you know, it's a lovely, like, just team community of using things that we all know taste better. We all know the certain flours that we prefer that work better with bread, that work better with baked goods. So, you know, there's that conversations that happening, planning and sourcing, where are we going to get all of this food? Will we be using it from, you know, the European factories, the, you know, Shars over there? Sometimes there's new exciting things that many of you have had the chance to try when we're in Europe for our river cruises that we don't get a chance to have here. So we want to make sure that we get that chance to do that. And then also the venue operations. How are these places being cleaned? What's going to happen? What, you know, toasters, all those certain details that, you know, I have a 24-page list with very small print on each page that we go through, just to, again, put your mind at ease and know that we are doing all of this work beforehand, so you can truly relax when you get there. So, and, you know, I did cover some of this, but this is a part of what happens. And it's the teamwork that, I don't want to be cheesy, but yes, makes this dream happen for all of us. It's that perfect understanding and the level of, tell me more, what can we do to make this better? But Oceania, as many of you know, or you don't know, you're about to know, there's really no better food operation on the oceans than Oceania. So we already know that's their starting point. And obviously they have worked with, all of these level chefs have worked with, you know, gluten-free items and things before, but never a complete in an entire venue and group. So we'll do our traditional training. So this is the immediate week before we will be sailing and going through all of those details. All of the gluten will be removed from that galley. of the restaurant that we will be in. All of the things will be restocked with all gluten-free ingredients. And again, just to ensure that we have the same exact experience that guests who are not dining in those venues, that do not have to make these dietary changes, that the experience is very much the same. So know that the menus will be rotating. We'll have different menus each night. So you will still get the full sample of all of the different amazing culinary experiences that Oceania has. It's just, this is how we ensure that there's no cross contact at all.
And it's true, you know, the food is the hallmark of our brand here at Oceania Cruises. So we invest honestly the most money into our foods ingredients out of almost any other ocean cruise line in the world. For every 10 guests on board our ships, there's one chef. So that's just something to think about. That ratio is pretty unheard of in this industry. And, you know, we do have, and I think you could go to the next slide too, because I kind of want to go into Jacques Pepin, and there he is in the middle. So it all starts with Jacques Pepin. You know, he's a world-renowned famous chef who delivers that, you know, quality, Michelin star quality restaurant feel that you would see ashore to our culinary experience, alongside with, you know, our new executive head chef, Alex Quadretti. Him and Jacques Pepin have done wonders with Oceania Cruises and our full culinary experience. And actually, I think, Connie, you wanted to mention Giada?
Yes. So you recently just signed an agreement with Giada De Laurentiis, and I used to watch Giada on the Food Network all the time. She's an amazing chef, and I think she's in the video that we're going to play in a few minutes as well. So it's really awesome to not only have Jacques Pepin, but to have Giada De Laurentiis as part of your team as well. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
actually, Jacques Pepin's daughter actually has a hand in our culinary experience and say as well. So we're just so happy to have that family helping us every step of the way. This is
Speaking of steps,
speaking of steps, this is the grand staircase on the Vista on deck 5. Just beautiful. Like, this whole ship just shouts elegance. I'm so excited for you guys. I want to go on the Vista again so badly. Um, And then, you know, we're just showing you some beautiful pictures. We really have that just residential feel to our ships. This is the Grand Lounge. Martinis, this is where we'll play some live music. We'll have violinists, the grand piano, as you see there. And the Martinis bar is over to the left. It's not really in this image. I don't have the official pictures because the ship is so new. These are just some renderings, but Martinis is already very popular. I mean, you could just see the library, cozy. And we do have evening entertainment aboard all of our ships. The larger ships, which this is the Vista, it holds 1,200 guests. You'll have the Broadway style entertainment in the evening. The Vista Lounge, I think we have it pictured in the next slide. Just a beautiful lounge, and I've sat in it myself. Those chairs are so comfortable. It's a beautiful purple velvet material. It's just wonderful. Good, very good experience. We have all the way. Oh, go ahead.
and there's no obstructions, right? There's no poles in your way. There's
No.
nothing to block your view.
Yeah, zero obstructions. Latest and greatest technology, as I mentioned. We'll have like terrific light displays, movie quality effects going on during our shows. And here you can see the Horizons Lounge. So this is basically the observation deck towards the front of the ship with the wonderful floor-to-ceiling windows and the views. You know, typically this is where we'll do like our afternoon tea session. So we'll have to talk about that a little bit, Connie. Maybe we can get like a gluten-free type of thing going on for our guests from Ember. So we'll get the food from Ember from the restaurant and serve it in here to you guys as well. I'm sure we could do something like that on board.
That's going to be awesome. Yes.
Yeah. And the Aquamar Spa is beautiful. You know, we have so many different things you could do at the Aquamar Spa. This is actually the concierge spa level terrace. So this is for concierge and above only. You could still potentially see the spa staff and pay to get into this exclusive area. Very private, but for everybody on board, there's wonderful massages, you know, aromatherapy treatments, anything you can think of at a regular spa we have on board. We also have the full salon where you can get your hair done if you'd like. It's just gorgeous. We have the artist loft as well. So this is where we'll actually have art classes. So we'll either have instructors where you can actually sign up for free to go and create whatever they're creating or do anything on your own. Sometimes we'll have artwork set up and on display inside the artist loft for you to purchase. It all just depends. But we do this on every single one of our cruises on the larger ships, including the Vista, of course.
And isn't it something like a artist in residency or something? How does that work?
Yeah, we typically do have a famous artist on board who gets his own, you know, room, and he'll be on board for your cruise. I'm not 100% sure. We're still a little bit too far out to know who that artist will be, but I could get that information.
But best of all, it costs how much?
Free.
Yeah.
And we're extremely obviously excited about the culinary centers on board our larger ships. The Vista, this one pictured, you can see here with the wonderful granite marble countertops. I mean, it's just gorgeous. You get to prepare the food. This is for 24 guests at a time. We're gonna talk to our head chef who's gonna be on the ship at the time and see if we can get our nice, you know, gluten-free menu put together for you guys to prepare and then enjoy. Did you want
Maybe.
to talk a little bit about that, Connie?
Well, we're just gonna have to see how that works and if we can get it. And that's it. Most of those things don't even open until a year out. So we're looking at November before we can make those announcements for sure, wouldn't you say?
And
Yeah.
also, I'll chime in to ensure, cleaning protocol, safety, things like that. So we'll cover all of those boxes, but obviously what an amazing, opportunity. So we're going to push real hard to hopefully be able to experience that once or twice, hopefully.
Yeah, and
be
we
very
keep it spotless. I mean, we allow guests to go into the actual culinary center when it's not open and take a look and do a little tour and walk around and just see what it looks like. So this has become so popular. So this is the famous mixology bar, the Founders Bar. So this is where you can get one of the fanciest cocktails. My favorite personal one that I've tried was called the Benevolent Dictator. And we actually take a red blend of wine from one of our founding fathers, Bob Binder. He has a winery in California called Silver Trident. And they take this ball, they freeze a ball of the red blend wine and mix it with a special bourbon, which I thought was a little strange, but it actually tasted delicious. They put it into a glass enclosed box, fill it up with hickory smoke, and then serve it to you that way with all the smoke coming out. It is so cool. Everybody, it's become so popular. We're actually already making it larger on the Allura before we release it. And the next time the Vista goes into dry dock, we're going to have to expand. We're going to have to push a little bit more into the casino area to make this a bigger bar. It's just too popular. And in the bottom right, you can actually see the casino. That is the casino on the Vista. We have casinos on all of our ships.
It's pretty important when you take away casino space for a bar. That's a pretty nice bar.
It's a very nice bar. And this is the Vista's pool deck. I mean, you can just see how beautiful it is. These are renderings, but it looks exactly like this. I mean, it's just so nice. You don't have to worry about someone putting down their items on the chair and walking away and leaving it for 4 hours. It's not like that on our ships. This is small ship luxury feel.
Well, and what I love is how the chairs are all covered and they have really nice towels already on them and they're cushioned. It's not just a hard chair. They're really nice.
Very nice. And the sports deck, of course, we actually have a full 18-hole putt-putt course on the Vista. And also, we're very excited about the dual tennis courts we just installed. So now you can do either tennis or convert it into pickleball, which has become ever popular. And you just wanted me to include some nice pictures of what the suites and staterooms look like. These would be the penthouse suites. We only have a few, I believe, in the group, but this is the penthouse suites. Here we have the concierge level veranda, which you get access to the concierge lounge as well. And for the people in the penthouse suites, they get access to their own lounge as well too. It's called the executive lounge. So this is where you'll just have your own personal concierge that you can go and speak with. On a normal case basis, you can do dining reservations. For you guys, you won't have to worry about that. We have Ember closed down just for you. But you can also talk to them about your shore excursions or anything else, any other questions you may have. We also have computers available for use. And this is the veranda level, so category B as in Bravo. Still beautiful, spacious rooms, very spacious bathrooms. I'm a pretty wide individual. I can completely move around in the shower easy. I'm not hitting my elbows on the walls or anything like that. And yeah, I think we talked a little bit about this when I was kind of going over Ember. So you are going to have, do you want to talk about it, Maureen?
Sure, I'll jump in here. And I see a lot of the questions. I was just kind of reading some of the questions and, great questions. So yes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be offered daily. So that's, from our dedicated venue, dedicated galley. Dinner, as Stephen explained, will be more of, the traditional sit down. Breakfast and lunch, obviously, you'll have things to choose from there. I did see a question about being able to, take that meal, breakfast or lunch. Of course, like as long as you're comfortable with that. I mean, there are so many like outdoor areas and things like that that you're welcome to. You don't have to stay in there. Obviously, if your traditional protocol is only dedicated venues, then that would be what we would recommend you do. We will have room service options. Yay! So also that food will again be coming from our dedicated venue. So that will be a really, really nice special treat because that is something that is hard for us to be able to offer everyone as much as we all want it on the really big ships, the Royal Caribbean ships and things like that. So that's really exciting. And that's offered a very long time, I think, throughout the day. So no chance of starving through the day. Gluten-free items in the quick service locations. Again, as long as, there will be some options that we can select from, but if you're not comfortable, even being in a shared open environment, Ember is going to be where you're going to go. But there are definitely gluten-free options available in all of those quick service locations. Snacks and hors d'oeuvres, we're working on that. And I did see a question about training. You can count on us. We'll make sure any person touching food who is related, involved with us at all, will have every detail covered in terms of safety protocol and understanding the why and what needs to happen. To-go options for excursions off the ship. So, as we said, for those ports of call that we're going to deep dive and try and find some safe options, of course, you're welcome to explore those, but we will always have to-go options for excursions that if you want to just take into town, so you'll be able to ensure that you have a safe meal off the ship. So no need to pack 16 bars in your bag. So you can actually have a real meal. So we'll make sure that, that all of those details, the menu items and things like that will be, as we get a little closer, covered in detail. But yeah, there'll be plenty of food options. That is for sure. Pretty much 24/7, you will be able to find a place to eat safely from a dedicated venue. And I did see a question about dairy. Obviously, we know the frequency in terms of the dairy sensitivity, so we will, be covering that. But yes, I mean, Oceania does an amazing job with all dietary stuff. So I would, those of you who are kind of comparing it to AMA Waterways, of course, this is our culinary cruise. So they know what they're doing, and I'm sure we will be able to assist with additional things as well.
And I'll just chime in on the registration form. One of the questions that we ask is that to you to provide your dietary restrictions for every person that's coming. And if you have dietary restrictions that you've already put on the form, we've already sent those to Oceania and they're already in their database. So if you're already booked, then they already know all your dietary restrictions already. So we've been very quick to go ahead and make sure everybody has those. And there's the there it is, the dairy. We should have switched screens earlier, but yes, any dietary restriction that you have, like I said, has already been sent to the ship. If anything changes between now and next October, you just have to let us know, and we'll let the ship know as well. But so many times what we tell people is you still, you need to know that things like, nuts or things, just make sure that you're prepared, right? So you need to advocate for yourself and just make sure we know what those are. If it's outside of gluten, because we're Celiac Cruise, right?
Mhm. Oh, and here's the wonderful video we included.
May of 2023. A truly remarkable moment for Oceania Cruises.
I hereby name this ship Vista.
We welcomed Vista, one of the most anticipated ships of the year. She represents the future of Oceania Cruises. She is the launching pad to our dazzling and dynamic tomorrow. And tomorrow has arrived. Let's go. With Allura, the journey continues. A journey that leads to one place, the ultimate Oceania Cruises experience. Embark on the irresistible thrill of striking out into the unknown, the sweeping freedom of exploration. Experience the world in the essence of greater luxury. Allura's inaugural journeys have been thoughtfully curated to appeal to seasoned global travelers. Whether you delight in reconnecting with favorite destinations or you're excited to discover new places and sights for the first time. We can't wait to welcome you aboard Allura for her inaugural season in 2025. Your world is calling.
And we went ahead and showed the whole video because the Allura is a sister ship to the Vista. So a lot of those images are on both ships. So we felt like it was good to go ahead and show that whole thing. So with that, we'll say thank you so much for joining us. And we hope that you will join us on the Oceania Cruise next October. All of our cruises are listed on celiaccruise.com. You can see all of our 2024 sailings as well as our 2025 sailings. As Steve mentioned, this is a very limited availability ship. So once this ship fills up, we will start a waiting list. All of our registration forms have a date and time stamp. So when they come in, we'll know. And if you do get put on a waiting list, then we will work that list in the order in which it was received. But we also invite you to take a look at all of our other sailings as well. We have an amazing Alma Waterways cruise next year. And we have a webinar next Wednesday night, which we're going to be sending an email tomorrow to invite you to hear more about Alma Waterways. But before we go, I think there's some questions in the Q&A.
Yes. And I'll go through these and just kind of assign as I feel who might know the answer. Will there always be some food that is both gluten and dairy free? So yes, as we covered, they will be well prepared for dairy free and gluten free options. So yes. So let's see. Gluten free options pre and post cruise. So let's wrap this into. I saw another question too about pre and post. Stephen, I'll let you handle the pre and post piece, and then I can take the food piece.
Sure. So we do have wonderful pre and post either hotels available for purchase or land packages. So our land packages are typically anywhere from 2 to sometimes 5, 7 days long, depending on, the ports of call. These will typically be released at a year prior to sailing as well. So we don't have that information just yet and what exactly we're doing for pre and post. Hopefully we'll have something nice though. And all you have to do is reach out to Connie or Maureen and let them know what you're interested in once it's available. And I'm sure maybe you guys will do an email blast maybe with the information. Yeah.
Yes.
What activities are available if you decide to spend the day on the ship? Stephen.
There's a lot of activities. If you're into the sports stuff, of course, you can do any of our, top deck stuff. We'll also have guest speakers on board the cruises, so you can enjoy, going to see one of our guest speakers. What else is there to do during the day on the ship? I mean, the artist loft is something fabulous. If you like to do any type of artwork, you can also always visit the spa. If you just want to relax in your suite, we have wonderful movies available to watch. Visit the casino on board. There's a lot of different things to do on board the ship during the day.
Amazing. Another one for you. Can you confirm if shore excursion credits are per port?
Well, say that one more time. Sorry.
Shore excursion credits, are they per port or per sailing?
So yeah, it's based upon the sailing. So you get just a lump sum shore excursions credit just to use on your shore excursions. It's not like an onboard shipboard credit. It's just a shore excursions credit.
Okay. Adults only areas. Why don't we talk about, just kind of generally speaking? I mean, obviously, yeah.
Well, I mean, kids are extremely rare on our cruises. You'll almost never see anybody under the age of even 21 on our ships. Maybe if it was an Alaskan voyage, that's one thing. A lot of grandparents love to bring the whole family on their Alaskan trips. And we actually have a kids club on the Alaskan cruises. But for a Mediterranean voyage, I don't think we'll even have that many kids at all. We'll look at the manifest maybe 2 weeks prior to sailing. And if there is a few kids, we'll try to have some staff put together a kids club. So they'll kind of be out of your way, but I don't even think you'll run into many kids on this type of voyage. So the whole ship is adults only, almost, in a sense.
Okay. Asking about the gluten-free beer brand. So we do partner with Holidaily. They are our exclusive beer for the Celiac Cruise. We have gotten them, as many of you know, to Europe on our river cruises, and we need to start that process as well. There's a lot of different steps that I won't bore you all that go into that, but we will ensure that there's a truly gluten-free beer on board, not gluten reduced, but of course we will do everything we can to make it Holidaily because it's the best we've found. Dress code.
Very country club casual. I mean, Oceania is not pretentious by any means. If it's in the evening, then okay, we would prefer if you did not wear jeans, of course, into the dining venue during the evening. But throughout the day, you can wear shorts, sandals. You're fine on Oceania.
Assigned times and seating for dinner. Connie?
So because we have the Ember restaurant for our entire sailing, it's going to be open seating. So we anticipate that the hours of operation will mirror the hours of operation of the regular restaurants on board, the other restaurants, like the main dining room. But it might be extended just a little bit because that's the only place that we can go. So those dates and times will, certainly come out before we sail. But the seating, there isn't like an early or late seating with Oceania at all. It's always open seating. So if the restaurant opens at 7, you can go at 7. If they're open till 10 o'clock, then you can go at 9:30 or 9:45 even, and still have a great dinner.
Right.
Will it be warm enough to swim outdoors at this time?
I actually don't. I'm not 100% sure. Do you know, Connie?
October's beautiful in the fall in the Med. It's not going to be cold by all means, but I would think, especially in that Aquamar spa, say that twice. Wow.
I know.
Then I love that because it's like a big giant hot tub, and that's where I'll be. So
what is the cost for the premium liquor for the 10 days per person?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think $30 per person per day should be the cost.
Okay. Just a question about the dinner menu. I can answer that. There will be a full menu. We're not going to give you one choice. We'll give you many, many choices. Again, this entire experience is to replicate what it would have been without the need to be gluten-free. So
Right, and it's the hallmark of our brand.
Yes, yes.
The food is that's what Oceania is, food and culinary.
What rooms would you recommend traveling with an adult daughter? Solo rooms or parents next door? Connie, do you have any thoughts on that?
There are some solo cabins that are single solo. They're made for one person. They have a single bed, not a double bed. But if you are traveling with maybe two sisters or a mom and daughter, or just two friends, and you want the beds separated, the beds do separate in the regular room. So you could have two twins, or you can push it together and they make a king. Some of the cabins actually have a pull-out sofa bed for a third guest, and some cabins do connect. So, normally a solo person sailing in a cabin by themselves pays double, but Oceania has a few cabins that are solo cabins, and so it's only about, it's not quite double. So it does save a little bit of money, and you have your own space. So either way, a lot of times it depends on the family. If they want to all be in one room and share one bathroom and have a pull-out sofa, then that works. A lot of people want to have their own space, so they'll get side by side or connecting cabins.
Okay. Is there still availability on this cruise?
Yes, it is a very limited cruise to begin with because of just the nature of the Ember restaurant. And we're really working to try to get as many people booked as quickly as possible. So like I said, all the registrations have a date and time stamp. And we have been quickly booking all the people. We've been open for sailing now for, I believe, 2 weeks. So we've been booking as quickly as possible. And I think we're pretty much caught up with all the forms that have come in. So registration forms that come in tonight will get booked tomorrow.
And someone was asking about the specific cost. And also if there was a link. So if you go to celiaccruise.com and then scroll down, you'll see all of our 2025 sailings, and you should be able to see where it says this particular sailing. You click in there, and then again, scroll down, and you will see all of the specific pricing per cabins that we kind of reviewed tonight. So that's where you can find all of that information. We've never cruised. How do we know what room type to choose? What do you think, Connie?
Well, I think the main difference between a balcony and the concierge balcony is that Aquamoss bar in the back, the hot tub, the big, huge pool-like hot tub. That's the main difference, is being able to go in there and enjoy that. So for me, that was a big deal. Balcony for sure, because balconies have the open, you slide your balcony door open and you step outside and you're on your veranda. If you like a little more space, then I would probably go with a penthouse or even an owner suite, or it just depends on the budget. I will tell you that this is a 10-night cruise and it's very port intensive. We have a couple of sea days, but the rest of the time we're in port a lot. So cabin is not as important as it is just making sure that you get booked. So at least a balcony. If the giant jacuzzi is something cool that you love and the concierge kind of level of service, that's great. If you're more of a penthouse person, Steve, penthouses come with butlers, or is that only the owner suite? And
They do. The penthouse suites get the butler service. It's phenomenal. I mean, they could do almost anything for the guests, from, folding your clothes, putting them away for you if that's something you'd like done. I've personally had the butler service. He would bring me sushi every day before cocktail hour. It was phenomenal. I can't, if you can afford it, the butler service is so wonderful to have.
yes.
Wow. So if someone in the family is not gluten-free, are they able to access the other dining areas?
Yes. Yeah, they'll be fine. They can go to the grand dining room, or the Terrace Cafe, which is our buffet style. That's on near the pool deck. We have the Waves Grill as well. There's tons of other areas that they can eat at. We have other specialty restaurants, but they require reservations. You're actually typically allowed one reservation at each of the other specialty restaurants ahead of time. So if that person who doesn't have to worry about celiac or gluten, you know, I'm sure they can make their reservations if they'd like.
And those reservations, are they included in the cruise or are they additional?
They're included. We want everyone to try the, you know, the finest cuisine at sea. And your gluten-free menus are going to be phenomenal. I mean, you're getting some of the best chefs in the industry preparing your food.
So the
And-
menus that you're going to see in these different restaurants, just a, you know, side note, of course, you see me jump in here. We're going to have the full taste of everything. So those menus that, you know, you will get in the different dining rooms and the different specialty restaurants, those will be coming to us. So we just don't have to go travel all around the different places, but you will still have that sample, that culinary experience that is just like all the other guests are going to get in the different venues, but it's going to be in a dedicated space. So fret not, it's going to be very much, you can hear the people talking in the elevator about the something they had on and whatever, and you'll be like, oh yeah, we had that on night 2. So just to make sure, I wanted to make sure everybody knew that.
Well, and to set the expectation, you know, we are closing Ember for the week. So the folks that are booked with us are expected to eat in Ember, you know, for the week, because they're going to be taking up that specialty restaurant for the whole week. So like Steve said, the grand dining room and all the other areas that are available. But the specialty restaurants would be truly space available based on when everybody else got to go to those. So just want to set the playing field so that everybody, I don't want anybody to be upset if they're like, you know, we weren't able to get into a different restaurant because they were all full, because we have Ember for the whole week, which is unheard of. So
yeah. And, you know, our general standard protocol, just for those of you who haven't sailed with us, we do require that entire space to be 100% gluten-free. So start to finish. So food cannot come in from other places. It can only go out. So, and again, that is just for the reasons we do what we do to ensure people's safety. Someone asked about a gym. There's a gym, right? I remember
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Okay.
And I that's one of my favorite ways to keep in shape is just lifting weights. And they have a full, you know, dumbbell set, the length of the wall. They have the wonderful treadmills and ellipticals that face floor to ceiling windows. So you get that amazing view of the ocean while you're sailing, or the amazing view of one of the ports of call. The gym, it's a very good gym.
Amazing. Someone asked about gratuities and how they work.
So gratuities, I mean, at this point, Oceania has become a lot more inclusive. We almost include almost everything except gratuities. But the gratuities are included for you, so you don't have to worry about that. It's included as part of this group's contract with Celiac Cruise. So
as long as you get a cabin that's within our group, correct? So there's a few outliers, but yes, pretty much.
correct,
Yeah.
correct, yeah. And if you want to tip above, I mean, we don't generally preach that. It's all up to you. We have methods for you to tip above and beyond, you know, on board.
Any shops on board?
Yes, we have wonderful boutiques on board. I recently purchased my nice new watch from the Vista. I don't know if you can see it. It's a Tissot Swiss-made watch. We have
Wow.
wonderful boutiques on board.
Amazing.
Yeah,
How about bottled water? Is that included, or is there, what is?
all included. All
Okay.
included. Anything from still sparkling water. We have baristas with the fabulous coffee. You can get your Americano, you know, your lattes. All of that's included with Oceania Cruises. You don't have to worry about any of that. Soda, there's Gatorade in the gym, for example, all included for you.
Prices on the website per person, and most of these cabins are double occupancy. I mean, if not, you would know. I mean, Connie would communicate, our team would communicate that with you. Shore excursions, when do they open? When can we know what they are?
Basically a year prior to sailing, we'll release a full detailed list of all the tours and their descriptions. We'll probably just send it over to Connie, who can then forward it to the group.
Okay. Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi is available, and it's the fastest Wi-Fi internet at sea. We just partnered with Starlink Internet Services, so it's the satellite internet. The Wi-Fi is great on board our ships.
And I might say they offer a kind of a streaming service as a plus if you want to upgrade, but we didn't do that. We stayed with the regular, and I was able to work and make calls and do everything. It worked really well for me. So the standard is included. And if you find you need the upgraded one, you can pay for that once you get on board. But I didn't have to. I loved it.
Booking accommodations before or after the cruise. I mean, I think that's going to depend. I mean, I'll let them answer this, but in terms of the pre and the post and what those plans are, whether you want to be a part of the pre or the post, or if we can assist with hotel information. Connie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think, it depends on what you want to do. Once Steve comes out with the pre and post, we'll send an email to everyone that's booked and invite you to join us on the pre or post if they offer it for this sailing. If not, a lot of times people will want to go into Athens for a few days, or maybe stay in Monaco for a few days, or maybe visit Nice or something. So, we can certainly put together something, individual for you after. We've done that on a lot of our river cruises.
Just following up, yes, the Wi-Fi is free. So I think that the whatever the Starlink is included.
Yep,
Yes.
2 devices at a time.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's nice. Simply more with air. When should people plan on booking the airfare? It's a specific package
So-
that people purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah, the air is included already with us. It's economy class. Is that what you're doing, Connie? We're doing the air
So
with Oceania?
we're offering either, so they can do cruise only, or they can choose to add air. And what we've been told by reservations is that air won't be out until at least December. And so once December rolls around, we'll send everybody that's booked an email and say it's time to start thinking about air. And then you can choose economy air, or you can choose premium economy air if it's available, or business class, and we'll just give you all the options. Or you can just stay cruise only. But some of you have already said you wanted to, do business class, from Dallas or whatever. And we've already added that to your reservation. The thing about flights is you can add it or take it away anytime up until about, I don't quote me, but a few months before we go. So we've got until next summer to make those types of changes without penalty.
Correct. The air doesn't go into penalty until I believe it's 60 days prior to sailing.
So,
Yeah.
What portion of the ship is Celiac Cruise?
so
Well-
about 12%, right?
Yeah, I mean, the ship holds 1,200 guests, and there is about, I think we're going for 130 for this trial run, because this is the very first time we've done this. We want to make sure everybody's safe. Yeah, I guess it's about a 12th, give or take, but
How do we handle baggage to the ship from a hotel and from ship to the airport?
So typically, if you come in early, we will arrange for a transfer for you to purchase that would get you from the hotel to the ship, or you could just get a cab and you could tell the porter at the hotel how many bags you need, whether you are like me and need a van for all your luggage, or if you pack a carry-on like some people and can just go in a small car. So the same thing with going back to the airport. If you get Oceania's air and you fly on their airfare, then they include transfers as well. So like I said, it's going to be probably December before those details come out. But if, for instance, if you fly on Oceania and you come in the day of the cruise and then you leave the day the cruise is over and you fly on Oceania, then your transfers will be included too, and they'll handle all your luggage for you. So that's a great way to kind of have a whole trip all in one package.
Yeah, and the pre and post hotels or land programs, they have transfers included as well. So you don't have to worry about it. It's all taken care of for you.
Amazing. That's very nice. Can you do the beverage upgrade on board? And does each person in the cabin need to do it? And what's included with the beverage plan?
Yeah, so you can do it on board if you'd like, but both passengers would have to upgrade. It's just a policy that almost every single cruise line's doing that these days. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's people were taking advantage of the system. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay. Any specific visas needed for any of the destinations, obviously, other than the passport?
For this cruise, I don't believe so, right, Connie?
No, no, it's so it's Greece, Italy, France, and Monaco. So no visas for
No
US
visas.
citizens. No.
Okay. Can we find a diagram someplace of the Vista? Like the ship plans?
Oh, yeah, like the full deck
Deck
plans.
plan, yes.
Yeah, it's available right on our website, just at oceanacruises.com. Or I think Connie, you might have it. I could send it to you. You can send it to whoever asks for it. It's easy peasy. We have it
Amazing.
readily
Any
available.
specific vaccinations needed for the cruise?
Not for this one.
Okay. Any cigar smoking areas on the ship?
Yes, we do have some designated smoking areas. We actually have a very nice cigar lounge kind of near the casino. We have a designated smoking area as well on one of the top decks near the pool area. I think it's only about those two areas, to be honest.
Okay. And is it better to book the airline with the cruise or do air on your own? Connie?
So it just depends. It certainly doesn't hurt to compare. But if you choose what Oceania gives you, then you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, I guess is the fun little rhyme. You get what they give you unless you want to actually do a deviation, which is $199 per person. And then you can pick your airline of choice. You can pick your flights that you want and the connections. But if you want to just have them take care of everything and have the free economy flights that come with the cruise plus air rate, not the cruise only rate, but the cruise plus air rate, then they'll take care of everything. You'll get your flights. You'll be able to fly and not have to worry about anything. If there's several couples flying together, or if it's a family flying together, of course, anybody in the same cabin would be on the same flight. But if you're traveling with a group and want to be on the same flight, then you'll all need to deviate to make sure you're on the same flight. Because if not, you're pretty much guaranteed to be on different flights. Because without deviation, you get what you get when they give it to you.
Yeah, you're exactly correct.
Good answer. What should guests bring as far as cash? US dollars, euro? What do you recommend for this part of the region?
I mean, Connie, do you have anything? I mean, we offer currency exchange on board, but you'd be fine with just US dollars. I mean, most of Europe takes US currency.
Yeah, I mean, we sometimes get euros to take with us for excursions. We have a credit card that does not have foreign transaction fees. So if you have one of those credit cards, you can ask your credit card company. Most credit unions have credit cards that don't charge foreign transaction fees. Then you can just use, as long as it's Visa or MasterCard. They don't really take American Express much in Europe. So that's the only thing that's, so make sure you bring a Visa or MasterCard. But a few euros would be fine. And you can either order them from the bank before you go, or you can take them out at the ATM. It's about the same price. You just go to the ATM when you get to Europe and withdraw the euros when you get there if you want.
Okay. And then a follow-up question to that. Is it card only on the ship? Like you're using a credit card on board on the ship, correct? Okay. Yes. So similar to other cruises. Yes. All right.
Except for in the casino, I think they take cash deposits.
Yeah.
So you hear. All right. Well, thank you all so much. We wanted to try and be respectful of time. We sometimes have the tendency to go over, so it's a Wednesday night. But thank you for joining us. Again, if you have questions, you can send them to info@celiaccruise.com, and we will get back to you about those details. We hope to see you on board, if not this amazing ship, many of the other things we have planned and many other surprises to come in the future. So again, thank you for your support and being a part of this, and we appreciate it very much. So have an amazing evening and so long.
Thank
you,
you.
Stephen.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.